Welcome to chapter 22. Abraham offers Isaac, and it begins in verse 1. Ke ageneto meta tarimata tavta. And it came to pass after these words, O Theos epirase ton Avraham. God tested Abraham. This word pirazo appears and many places in the Old and the New Testament. The words are used as English translation is tested and tempted. The word's the same in the Greek, but it always with God, it's a testing. But with Satan, he tempts us with evil. There's a difference, although the words are the same. It's sort of like genie, where you have a wife or a woman. And there's a lot of these words in the Greek, or not a lot, but there are some words in the Greek that have different meanings depending on the context. It's not like English, where everything always is black and white. We have to have exactly the way we want it, and other languages don't always fall into these rules. So here, God tested Abraham. He certainly didn't tempt him. He didn't want him to fail. Ke ipan avto, and he said to him, Avraham, and Abraham. And Abraham said, he said, Ke ipan, idu ego, behold, I put the it is, behold, I. Ego, the ego is the derivative. And 2, Ke ipe, and he said, God said, Lave ton ion su, take your son, ton agapiton, the beloved. Mentions the agapiton, the beloved, in the New Testament with Jesus. We see the agape right here, and it's means you have the English derivative agape, and it's beloved. And the word I chose rather than using the agape one. On igapisas, whom you love, and there's the verb igapisas. Tonasak, is Isaac, ke porev thiti istin gin tin ipsilin, and go into the high land, the ipsilin, gin, geology derivative, ke anendenke avton aki, is olokarposin fn ton oreon, and go into the high land and offer him there as a whole offering, whole burnt offering, upon one of the mountains. So he's not specifically picking out any right here, but one, and it's in the imperative. On si ipo, whichever I may tell you. Verse 3. Anastas the Avraham to proi, and Abraham rising in the morning, epasakse tin onon avtu, saddled his onon donkey. Parelave they meth avtu, theo pathus, and he took with himself 2 servants, theo, I could have highlighted that one, duo. Ke Isaac ton ion avtu, and his son Isaac, along with these 2 servants. Ke skizas, schizo, split, schizophrenia, split mind. Splitting sila, wood. We have the xylophone. It's a wooden instrument with mallets that is hit upon. And splitting wood, is olokarposin, for a whole offering. Anastas eporevthi ke, rising up to go. Ilthan epi ton topon on ipanavto o theos, and they came upon the place. The topography is a derivative for topon, which God spoke to him. Ti imera ti triti, in the 3rd day, or on the the third day. Emera, ephemeral, theos, theology, and tri are the derivatives. 4. Ke anavlepsis Avraam, tis ophthalmis avtu, ethe ton topon makrothen. And Abraham, looking up with his ophthalmis, eyes, ophthalmology, saw the place far off, macro, something wide or far, distant. So Abraham saw the place. And 5, Ke ipen Avraam tis paisin avtu. And Abraham said to his servants, Kathisate avtu meta tis onu. You sit here with the donkey in the imperative. Ego they ke to paderion the sometha eos odi. And I and the lad will go through unto here. Ke proskinisantes anastrepsomen pros imas. And doing obeisance we will return to you. Now underline that word proskinisantes, because for the first time in the King James, I believe, we have this word which previously was prostrating yourself, as the King James used the English word worship. And it appears just hundreds and hundreds of times further throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament, meaning to do obeisance, to prostrate oneself upon the ground. And worship, the English word worship, may have been originally something like that, but it's been tweaked to mean praising God with instruments and worship services and all that, but yet nobody prostrates themselves in a worship service. So it's one of the pluses of the Greek Apostolic Bible, as you can see the usages in the Old and the New and see what the meanings are and get a better idea. The English has changed, but the Greek, the original words of God written down, although of course the Old Testament was a translation from the Hebrew, but these words have been around for thousands of years. They haven't changed. And it continues, and we will return to you. In verse 6, Elevede Avraham tixila tis olokarposeos. And Abraham took the wood, the xila, for the whole offering, and epethekon Isaac to eo avtu, and placed it upon Isaac his son. Now, the 3 days, and then carrying the wood for the sacrifice, carrying the wood, it certainly is for image of Christ going to the mountain and the wood being placed upon him and carrying the wood that he's going to be sacrificed on. Then in verse, it continues, Elevede meta hiras topir ketin maharan. And he took with his hands, chiropractor, chiro, hira, the fire, pyromaniac, a pyre, and the knife. Ke aporev thison e theo ama. And the two went together. Verse 7. Ipe the Isaac pros Avraham ton patera avtu. And Isaac said to Abraham, his patera, father, paternal, is a derivative, father, pater, O the ipe, and he said, Ti esti teknon, what is it, child? Ipe they, and he said, Idu, topir ke toxila, pu esti to provaton, to is olokarposin. And he said, Isaac said, Behold, the fire and the wood. Well, where is the sheep, the one for the whole burnt offering?